Good morning, Virgo. This is David with Tarot and Astrology for All, bringing you your reading for the next 2 weeks. Now, before I rolled the die, I took an eye for these two stones here. Now, one of them is the Euconite, and the other one, well, this one right here may have had some type of meaning before, but now has taken on the meaning of strength and intuition. And I very much feel this is like a tooth. So, kind of like toothy shape, if you pay attention to it. So, I very much feel that this is connected to intuition and knowing how much to bite, right? How much to knowing how to take a bite out of something without how would I say knowing when not to bite off too much. Now, because there's a certain necessity for Virgos to try to dig and dig and dig and dig to try to find out the truth, right? But a lot of the times we end up biting more than we can chew. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was trying to say. And a lot of the times, it doesn't allow us to be fine until we figure out what it is that we're looking for when we're trying to bite for the truth. And sometimes we find that we learned a little bit more than what we were bargaining for. So with that, I'll go ahead and let you know that one of the things you'll actually have to understand too is who to trust and who to share, who to show that care and nurturing to, and that's usually the people who you can trust. So, with that, I go on to the Euconite. Now, the Euconite is one of those stones that's connected to vision, but it's also a stone that's connected to growth, and growth happens when you have strength, but it also happens when you trust your intuition and allow your intuition to guide you in the direction that it needs to be going into. Well, that your soul needs to be going into in order for it to move in a fashion that allows with you to know the details, but not be asking too much for the of those details, so that you don't bite off more than you can chew. And at the same time, it's so weird that this one's right there because you guys have the capacity to be leaders, but there's a necessity for you to be grounded, for you to understand how much to know, enough to lead. And of course, there is a certain something that sits in letting go of the rest. As much as Virgo may not want to, there is a necessity to just let go of the rest that doesn't serve any purpose and actually hold on to the key details that do matter. So with that, I will go ahead and go into your astrology. Virgo, you guys have Mars in your 11th house. Mars in the 11th house tends to be assertive among the outside crowd, but there's certain people that you should share your care and your nurturing with, and certain ones that you shouldn't. Some of them are... When I say some of those people are there to support you, and some of them aren't. Some of them are just leeching off of your energy. And there's a lot of, I would say there's a lot of stuff that's going on at your, within your, wait, hold on. 12, 11, 10. Okay, so North Node in your 10th house of Gemini, I feel like there's a lot of communication that's going on at your work that you can actually draw upon. Your soul might be actually connected to some of that. And I feel like for some of you Virgos, this could be something connected to like how your work makes money. It could be connected to where your soul is trying to pull you in terms of how to make more money. And the reason I say that is because you have the Sun, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury in Taurus. Taurus usually shows you where the money is. And with all of these in your sign, I very much feel that they're all guiding you to the necessary trail that you need to follow in order to understand how to make the money and how to actualize your dreams and make them a reality. So if that seems to be the case, and you have Chiron in your eighth house, then there is a necessity for you to understand what your triggers are and how to overcome those triggers in order to understand what needs to be let go of, which is usually something that's a part of yourself that no longer suits it, that purpose, as well as to gain a new awareness of what it means to let go of that and to allow new things to come into your life. Let's see, 2, 3, 4. I very much feel that with the moon and Sagittarius in fourth house, you guys might be having conversations within the household of how you can reach these dreams. Pluto in your fifth house, I feel like some of you Virgos are just worried about having fun and just building upon that. Always some good energy to pay attention to. And with Saturn and Jupiter in your sixth house, I very much feel that you guys are restructuring who you communicate with, who you connect with. And I feel that that's actually a very, very good thing, just simply because of the fact that with the organization power of Saturn in your sixth house, it actually allows you to better spend your energy where it needs to be spent and not to waste energy, not to waste time, etc., etc. Paying attention to the things that need to be done in order for you to be able to move forward and move ahead in life. Now, that Pluto energy is going to be shifting into Aquarius soon enough here within the next couple years, and there is going to be a necessity for you guys to understand how to structure your energy and structure your connections, so that once Pluto moves into that space, then you have the ability to understand, hey, you know what, this is what I could be doing, and actually pouring your energy into that and pouring your energy into those people within those certain connections in order to make your dreams a reality. All right, enough of the astrology stuff. Let's go ahead and go. All right, so I can tell that some of you Virgos are anxious. I feel like you guys are hypervigilant, and this is something that could be connected to the physical realm. So, you know, it could be connected to work. I very much feel that you guys are hypervigilant just in the space of understanding everything that's going on in your life. I very much feel that just there's no necessity for you to try to understand it too much, because I feel like there's that you guys are entering into a new space. With the earthworm, I very much feel that there is a necessity for you to just go with the flow and just to, you know, be like an earthworm. Just be the noob at it. Even if this means, you know, moving into a new job, even if it means moving into a job that maybe you're not familiar with. Maybe you're being presented with a new job that you're not familiar with. But it is a necessity for you to seek out the truth and how to do it correctly. That's the way that an earthworm should do it, or that the energy of the earthworm is telling you to do it. Yes, there might be some fear and anxiety behind it. However, I feel that anything that you set your mind to, Virgo, you'll excel at it. Now, one thing that I will say is that Scorpio energy, there's a necessity for you to understand that there's a time and a place for it. But there's also a time and a place for you to understand that Scorpio energy is not necessary in this aspect, and there is a necessity for you to be able to calm that Scorpio energy, especially when you feel like things are becoming frustrating for you. Now, this could be communication-wise. Somebody might say something, it might trigger a certain something within you, and it could be something as simple as, "Oh, your dreams are ridiculous," or something that maybe somebody in a relationship says. But if you kind of don't strike for a second and you actually pay attention to what it is that they are saying, you might actually have the ability to learn something. So, all right. So I feel like maybe there was something that you were supposed to reap, but maybe it didn't come true. Maybe in some sense, you feel like this kind of ruined your ability to be personally happy. But I very much feel that there is a necessity to build upon that, because there might be something bigger at hand. And I very much feel that in terms of this, there are certain things that need to take place in order for you to take action on them. And maybe the fact that you didn't reap as big of a payout as you were expecting is going to help you to work harder, or maybe move forward in a different direction that actually does allow you to reap your rewards. Now, I very much feel that there are certain things that you guys are going to want to do. Don't do them, just simply because, yeah, they might appear like helpful fixes, but they might actually end up ruining things more in the long term. So, all right, so I feel like some of you guys are hoping that your dreams might reveal something to you. I very much feel that since there's an 8 and the 2, and this one's 8 and 1, it basically comes down to paying attention to what it is that makes you happy, and using that to bring you a sense of completion, at least here in these times, as opposed to trying to well, actually, you know what? I feel like if you meditate, that might actually help you to release any pain and anger, and it'll also help you to release any frustration and any anxiety. So pay attention to setting aside a space and a time in order for you to be able to meditate. And if you don't know how to meditate, I would say just sit, let any thoughts that come through, assimilate them, think about them, understand why they're there, and then let them go. That'll actually help you to understand what it is that is being expected of you by not having, whatever, not being able to reap whatever you've sown, by not being able to reap whatever it is that you've sown in the past, and that in a sense will allow you to be able to understand what the bigger role is, or what the bigger picture is, and allow you to understand how best to move through it. Now, I do feel that some of you guys are not happy with the way things are going. This is a 2, and there is a decision that you're gonna have to make. Iris of the Rainbows at the bottom says that it's gonna have to be between maintaining your hope and maintaining your ability to be hopeful about the future, and understanding that you have control over your emotions as opposed to your emotions having control over you. And I feel like this is going to come about simply by understanding how far to dig, right? And when to be happy with whatever information you've uncovered, or whatever information you've found. I know sometimes, like, the search for the truth can be pretty OCD, I guess you can say, in some of us. Not just Virgos, but it has the ability to affect all signs. And none more so than Scorpio, I guess you could say, but sometimes there's only a certain amount of information that's going to be revealed to us. And then, okay, so you have to keep fighting on. We talked about that, and we talked about understanding the bigger picture. Whatever's happening right now is meant to put you into a higher position. And maybe there was a necessity, or maybe you wouldn't have worked as hard now had you received that big payout. but there is a necessity for you to understand where to put that energy. We talked about that, right? Where to put that energy and where to. Oh, okay, hold on. All right, yeah, see, so there is a message that isn't coming in, and I feel like you need to be in that space in order to receive it. Right now might not be the time because I feel the universe knows that you're not going to be able to grab it with both hands. There's certain fears and anxieties revolving around somewhere, and that's not going to allow you to be able to take advantage of those I guess you could say those events or those situations that have the ability to put you into a different state. I feel like right now that you're fighting for your position, or you're fighting for that mental position, and that's going to be the big. I guess you could say the big event for now. Just understand how best to put that energy forward. And there is a certain judgment that needs to take place. However, I feel that that certain judgment that leads to your happiness has to do with whatever it is going on here and whatever's going on in your mind. I feel like there is a certain something that needs to be thought of. There's another perspective needs to be taken when it comes to that specific thing that's going to make you happy. And at the same time, I very much feel that as you think about that, you'll be able to come to that certain decision that needs to be made. I was receiving a certain decision that needed to be made with the Dream Weaver and with Exorcist in the reverse, but I feel like there wasn't an ability to come to a certain decision. And nobody can make decisions when it comes to being anxious. You feel like you're hurried. You feel like you're not being given enough time to think. And I think that's what's happening. Just sit down and think. Have a vision of whatever it is that you want to do and a vision of wherever it is that you want to go. All right, so Capricorn energy. Cool. So there is a necessity for you to organize various different things in your life, organize everything that happens on your day-to-day activities. The energy is understand what is of value and what isn't. It seems like all of the different signs are having something to that effect. And understand that there is a specific energy that's going to be coming in the future. This might seem very spiritual to you, but it's going to help you in understanding how best to move forward. Because I feel like you guys have gained the energy that's necessary in order to be bold, in order to be courageous. And now you're learning the effect of how to read the value in things and how to understand the value of various different things in your life in order to understand how that plays a spiritual role in your life. And understanding, what opportunities are good to take a hold of and which ones aren't. I very much feel that whatever this other opportunity wasn't really too much of an opportunity to hold on to, so letting go was a necessity. Or maybe letting go is a necessity. Understand what to express and how best to express yourself. I very much feel that there is a type of Neptunian energy. It's a type of energy that is not showing you the way. And it might be connected to whatever it is that you were doing before. But the right way to go about it is to understand how to think about this energy and how to reassess whatever it is that you're trying to do, Virgo. And also understanding how best to put your energy into an obsessive mode, because that's usually how we reach various different things in our lives, is to understand how best that obsessive energy takes its hold. And just trusting your intuition on this, because I very much feel that if you trust your intuition and you have strength of purpose, that the way that you express yourself is going to be a very, very easy route to travel. Now, I feel like 12 has an important aspect in this as well. 12 and the energy of Jupiter. So, things on an everyday level. And what those things are connected to in terms of your happiness. Now, the best way to go about it is the energy of the day to day, understanding what you need to do on an everyday basis and doing it. And also making sure to connect to those people that support you, Virgo, because on an everyday level, they help you to get through those tough times, as well as to understand what changes need to take place in order for you to reach your happiness and to reach your completion too. Because when it comes to not getting something that you may have wanted from a different something, or like say from a different job, from a different career or something like that, might be disappointing, but it may have been causing you more stress than necessary, and it might be necessary to move into a new thing with the energy of the earthworm, to have strength of purpose and to trust your intuition to know how to navigate those things. So with that being said, if this helped you in any way, Virgo, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and share it, subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys for the support so far for any of you Virgos out there. Also, these readings are going to be done every 2 weeks, but do tune in the morning, because I will be giving a general reading for the day and to see, what the day might have in store for us, as well as readings in the afternoon where they'll be free and you have the ability to be able to go ahead and ask me any questions you guys might have, and I can go ahead and answer them with a real quick free reading. So with that being said, I will go ahead and let you guys go, and I hope that you guys have a good morning and that you guys have the information that was necessary for you to hear right here on this channel and right here in this reading. So with that being said, I am David with Tarot and Astrology for All, and I will see you guys 2 weeks from now.